the extroverted sensitive makes it easy to like just try things out and be good at it first try. What's up, y'all? I thought I'd make this video talking about an interesting observation I made about ESTPs. So one thing I've noticed about ESTPs is um, you would describe them as like conquerors. You know what I mean? Like they want to conquer everything. They want to win at life. Well, everybody wants to win at life, but they have a winning mindset, I say. Um, that can lead to them building themselves up to a point to whatever field they in, they can kind of like be unstoppable in a way. Um, I think my type is more unstoppable at our peak than ESTPs are, but ESTPs become unstoppable probably faster, and they will probably have a few weak points, but they will. But like looking at them, you'll look at them and think like it's impossible to beat them though. They have a few weaknesses and blind spots though. Probably more weaknesses and blind spots than my type does have. But for the most part, they'll be unstoppable. Um, but it's weird because they'll get to the point where they're unstoppable. But I think like subconsciously, a part of them will want to know what it feels like to lose, which is weird. Um, like ESTPs want to know what it feels like to be at rock bottom. I think subconsciously, I don't think they consciously are aware they want to feel it, but they want to know what it feels like because they don't like things to be too perfect. Some about extroverted sensing. They don't like stuff to be too perfect necessarily. Um, but pretty much, um, a part of them wants to know like the variation and differences of what it feels like to be at different points. Like because each extroverted sense of like variety. I don't necessarily think. I mean, I think we have it a little bit in ISTPs, but it's not nearly as prominent as it is in ESTPs because they are extroverted sensing dimes. So they want to know the what it feels like to be up here and down here and in the middle somewhere. Like they don't like stuff to be too perfect too long. Now the way that this manifests for ESTPs is ESTPs will develop these douchebag asshole personalities. Um, Now it's an illusion because they're usually not as much of assholes as they come off. Um, but they purposely act like that because subconsciously they want somebody to actually humble them, which is weird. This is the weirdest thing about ESTPs. I know it kind of doesn't make sense, but it's true. They like secretly want to be humble. That's the thing about ESTPs that people don't realize a lot of times. If they're at the top of whatever field they're in, if they like just unstoppable, they secretly want to know what it feels like to lose a part of them. So they will act arrogant and act like assholes just to get somebody, just so they can be humble because they're looking for somebody to humble them in a way. Um, it's weird, man. I'm telling you. A lot of times when you see an ESTP finally get defeated or humbled, you'll see they won't even be mad when they lost. They'll have a sense of relief on their face. In their demeanor, they'll just be relieved. It's weird because it's like, okay, finally somebody beat me. You know what I'm saying? Um, but it's weird, man. That's just how ESTPs tend to think. They're kind of like conquerors, but in a way they're kind of looking for somebody to beat them. It depends on like if they're in a competitive field, though, of course, too. But yeah, you'll see this a lot if you pay attention closely. ESTPs are very interesting people. You know, of course. I mean, I'm an ISTP. They're very similar to my type, so. Um, but yeah, I think that's all I got to say about that. I was gonna use some examples. I forgot. Oh yeah, like think about Jake Paul. Jake Paul sort of purposely acts like an asshole outwardly, but I don't think Jake Paul is as much of an asshole as people think. Floyd Mayweather, he purposely would play the villain when it came to promoting fights. I think a part of him, like I think he was scared to lose, but I think a part of him um, did want to see what it'd be like to lose too. I'm not saying ECPs are consciously wanting to lose. I'm saying that a part of them, like deep down, want to know what it feel like to lose. because their life been too perfect too long. You know what I'm saying? But that's the extroverted sensing thing actually in general. Like I said, it's more prominent in like an ESTP because of extroverted sensing dominance. Now ESFPs, it manifests in them too, but with ESFPs, it's more like they don't want life to be too perfect type of thing. Um, they kind of have it too, but it's a little different. They don't necessarily act like assholes to get to that point. They don't express it by acting like assholes necessarily. ESFPs, it's a little different. ESFPs do it more through self-sabotage, like small ways. If they're more healthy, they'll be in small ways, but if they're like not as healthy, they'll be in big ways. ESFPs sometimes self-sabotage. You know what I'm saying? Um, Subconscious thing. They want to, it's kind of like a imposter syndrome type of thing that comes with extroverted sensing, I think, too. A little bit. It can manifest as imposter syndrome, I think, for extroverted sensors. Like I think all of us could do things to where when we're got to get too high on the ladder, we can do something to self sabotage. Honestly, that's just. I mean, I know I've done it myself. I used to self sabotage. I think I still do a little bit. I've worked on it a lot. You know what I'm saying? I've done a lot of inner work on that. But yeah, it's in all of us, all extroverted senses. I mean, I kind of started this out talking about the ESTPs, but really it is kind of in all of us. Now that I think about it, like for example, like ISFP, like Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson been famous his whole life. He's an ISFP. He's a notorious ISFP. I know some people try to type him as intuitive. Michael Jackson's not intuitive. I'm going to tell you that right now. He's an ISFP. But anyways, um, it always would be a thing with him to where he was famous his whole life, but he wanted to know what it felt like to be a normal person. He would put disguises on and go around and try to live like a normal person. He didn't like the fact that he'd been famous his whole life. He just wanted to be normal. This is why I actually have a theory. This is a conspiracy theory, but I wonder if Michael Jackson faked his own death sometimes. I know it probably didn't happen, but sometimes I wonder because he got a lot of money. He could have paid somebody to help him fake his death. If there's something like that out there, like that helps celebrities fake their death. I've talked about this with people sometimes. It's like a little conspiracy theory, but it's possible because he spent his whole life wanting to be um, normal, wouldn't know what it feel like just to be an ordinary person. But I mean, it's a little far fetched. Most likely, he's probably dead. But I'm just saying. Anyways, um, yeah. If I haven't made my point, that's kind of what it is. It's like the imposter syndrome thing. We work on it. But a lot of times, extroverted sensors are extremely talented. We're the most talented. You don't talk about the temperament. All the extroverted sensing types, all four of us, we're the most talented. Like I want to say about, well, yeah, I almost do want to say by far. We are typically the most multi-talented or talented people. Um, and that's just what it is. Uh, Out of all four of us, ESFPs are the most talented, like naturally talented out of all four of us. But like in general, extroverted sensing is a great function when it comes to being like talented and picking up different talents. Because we just try things out. The thing is, with extroverted senses, we try a lot of things out, and a lot of things we try out we'll actually be pretty good at. That's just kind of how it goes. Now it depends on what we want to stick to too. But the extroverted sensor makes it easy to like just try things out and be good at it first try, or not even necessarily first try all the time, but like in a very short period of time, we can like be very good at stuff and things like that. I myself, I've done that. I'm an extroverted sensor, and I've had that. I'm known as multi-talented. I'm a multi-talented dude. I'm good at most things I try. Especially if I enjoy doing it. If it's something that I find boring, I might not be. I won't be really motivated to be good at it because a lot of it has to do with fully immersing myself in what I'm doing. I have a hard time immersing myself in what I'm doing if I find it boring. So like, yeah, it just depends, man. Now, yeah, I learned that when I was a teenager. Like, I didn't always know I was multi-talented, but I kind of learned that as a teenager. Um, and once I raised my confidence, I really started to realize I was good at a lot of things. And I could be good at anything pretty much I wanted to be if I, just try it out and then put the work in to become elite, depending on, because some things I'll try and I'll be pretty close to elite early on, but other things I'll be pretty good, but as far as being elite, I might need to work on it. So that's just how it goes. But anyways, I think that's all I got for today. Thanks for watching.